Thank you very much. At the outset, a very good morning to all of you, and the opening remarks of Mr. Stoll. It was enlightening, and I feel privileged to be here because after listening to a plethora of speakers in the course of the last 5 days, though I must confess I have not attended all of them, but yes, it was eye-opener for me. I must also confess that I am not an IP practitioner. I am a consultant. But this forum has given me a better understanding of IP issues. And I would like to make a small beginning by just introducing myself as Mokashi, name has been mentioned. I am the CEO of TechSoc. TechSoc is a state government promoted organization, an autonomous body, which helps in promoting businesses and industries in Karnataka. And many other people, not only from here, but also from other parts of the country, they use us as a starting point for making their plans in Karnataka. And because we are autonomous, we are able to serve cats. I would like to speak more on the organization, rather speak on what I would like to say. IP transforms to currency and it gains value. This is enabled pursuit of growth and innovation, and reflected by National Innovation Council. It's important to note that we are talking about an inclusive growth theme in the coming years, and this will throw a lot of challenges. When it comes to IP promotion, it has to be necessarily backed by research and innovations. And Karnataka being a recognized hub, there is a lot of potential. Though I must confess, we are nowhere when we talk about other countries. If you talk about Taiwan, 5 IP patents registered per day. When we talk about US, I think the knowledge economy grows there. It originates to a great extent, and we are seeing a lot of IT-enabled activities where licenses are procured and they are being used, and that's why we are one of the key areas for IT in that. When it comes to that, my topic which I wanted to say was how we promote IP, brand registration, geographical indicators in Karnataka. Basically, this is a theme which I have chosen. It is not really something about that, because 3 reasons why we chose this theme. One is that IP getting patent registered is one lengthy process, and we are constrained by capacities. So even if you have many applications, they don't get processed. That is one. Then second, transform this innovation into an incubator, which will result possibly in getting into a commercialization of a product which has been developed, patented, and so that there is no infringement. The third question which comes is, we are the highest number of geographical indicator brands. They misinterpret GI registration as a patent. It's not a patent process, it's a geographical indicator. And we do have 35 out of the 100 GI patents, so-called registrations, in Karnataka. Most of them are pertaining to agriculture or to products. But then merely obtaining a GI registration doesn't help. It needs a lot of protection to showcase that products are authentic, origin is defined, and the brand owner is protected. Now, these are 2 3 examples where we have got, for example, our classic case of KSIC. I hope I'm audible behind. KSIC, which owns the brand Mysore Silk, and they are still struggling a lot to protect the ownership of the brand. Then when it comes to brands by itself, there are a lot of brands incubated by MSME segments. And you will find bigger players coming and purchasing the brand. These are the cases where you can look at something like MTR as a brand got sold to a Norwegian company. Nothing wrong with sales, at least the brand has got its value. Tangible asset is not much, it is only the brand value. The same thing happens with a chain of hotels called Adidas in the recent publicity. We saw Adidas chain of 36 hotels being valued at 360 crores by one of the transaction advisors. It's amazing. That means, there can be really a tangible value of brand. It's a little bit away from IP, but it's a brand creation. And we feel that protection of brand, providing an interested mechanism for aggrieved parties would be one of the very important features. Then I am pleased to say that being recognized as a destination, we do have a large number of players in the pharma segment who have obtained IP. India is very strong in the pharma side, maybe not so much in the others. But that doesn't, with a plethora of organizations in Bangalore in particular, because we call it knowledge, because we have the Indian Institute of Science, we have got the Institute of Management, Institute of Advanced Studies, IIITB, and all National Law University. See, when you look at this network of reputed institutions, plus the collaborations which are taking place, we do have a collaboration, for example, Indian Institute of Science collaborating with Imperial College London to get into areas of life sciences, biotech and new products. When they come into that, it gives a value. And we want to see where we can become, how we can move from a lower perspective, we are recognized not very high on the IP side, to move up the ladder, where you can say we are one among the top 7 or top 6 countries. I think that is the type of it. In this context, I feel we have been involved, for example, in, we are like a back office, because being a government-promoted body, we act as a bridge between the government and the corporate. So the message coming from corporate is passed on to government and vice versa. So in the process of our services to government, we have been involved in formulation of a number of policies. Then there are 15 policies in the state. Some of them are, you may wonder why 15. I will give you feedback on that. We have the industrial policy 914. We have the mineral policy, which is there to protect mineral and see that you don't have over-exploitation. We have got a textile policy. We have got an infrastructure policy. We got a tourism policy. We got a policy for SEZs. We got a wine policy, which is something I think many of you find little unusual, but it's there. And then we got an integrated agribusiness development policy. I feel you have a lot of scope for institutions like ICAR and all to come out with that hybrid varieties, land patents, something like which policy would give us a support. Then we have got on the IT side, the ICT policy, the biotech policy, electronic hardware policy, semiconductor policy, animation and visual effects policy, renewable energy policy, and solar policy. Now you must say, okay, policy is a policy, it's a vision statement. But why these have been chosen? We could have added many more. But we are choosing, looking at that, like for example, we'll be adding 3 more to this, the automotive policy and the aerospace policy. And probably the last one which we are toying with the idea is putting a promotional policy for IP, intellectual property. So the issues in each of these are going to be different. When you talk about intellectual policy, it's going to be different than what we have taken the area where we feel we have got good strengths in Karnataka. So automotive spare effects are too dramatic, and we feel that they need to promote, because employment generation and attracting investments globally has become the key, as you can see from the last 2 versions of Global Investors Meet. So when it comes to IP, and then many of these policies require knowledge base, require procurement IP patents for really sustaining growth. So we are recognizing that we do have good institutions and we got good possibilities of incubating good ideas from the younger generations of entrepreneurs. So when you do that, the fund becomes a big problem. And that is why when you talk about semicon policy or a biotech policy or animation policy, we are backing up by creating a venture capital fund to bring in angel investors to participate in the process of innovating products to commercialization. I think that single message is something which, because without the backup of angel investors, the IP will remain IP, it will remain a proprietary item. It going forward for commercialization may not be so easy, and particularly in the MSME segment in Karnataka, where we have got a lot of industries in Karnataka who are doing innovative work. They just don't know where to go for getting the IP registration, and to that extent, we feel that these type of forums give exposure to say, okay, plethora of patent economists are available to you. And my personal view would be to also take forward this one by bringing out a directly regional focus for the benefit of people who are innovating. It will be more useful. So, in conclusion, I will just say, overall objective of all the policies that I see, when you talk about policies, we are talking about policies where we want to bring in inbuilt flexibility to attract investors. If it can't attract investors or get industries in these segments which are considered as top-notch for our state, then the policy itself fails, so we need midterm corrections. And this is why I leave the forum open for any suggestions which may come in the course of policy formulation. We do hope to get list of people for the different policies to whom we can be taking as a feedback, because no policy can be individual. No doubt owned by the government, but a lot of consultative process goes. And a consultative process is very important to see that all stakeholders are addressed without infringing on this. Now, when we come to this, specifically for IP, because we feel that there is a need for an IP policy. And this is my personal and individual view. I won't say I am speaking on behalf of the government. But when we are talking about having a promotional policy, we are talking about promoting IPs, protecting brands, and this. We should first recognize in the policy itself, you said we recognize intellectual property as a potential resource, which has got a very high value. Then creation of IP incubation centers, where we can incubate good ideas to get them IP registration, and then go forward and see how it can be translated to a value. Incentive concessions for incubated units and innovative projects. Now, I would like to add, here we have got an incentive and concession for all segments of industries. There are variations between the policies, because when we want something which we say preferential, then we add something more than the industrial policy. That is going beyond just the industrial policy to give that extra added value for something which you feel is very important for the state. That is something which I feel there should be something addition, especially for incubate. When I say incubate, incubation comes in, sponsored research comes in. Then tying up having the venture capital funds and angel investors. So once you have the opportunities showcased, at least the fringe of it, then you should be able to see whether you are able to attract funding, because bankers don't fund very liberally for products which they consider high risk. And the incubator happens to be a small guy who does not have the resource to bring in even 10% of his equity. So selling the idea is not that easy. To ease off that participation from angel investors into this through a venture capital would be useful. No doubt there are many venture capitals in India. But when you say a focused one, if you are talking about a venture capital focus for incubated products from IP, then it becomes focused, we can talk a little bit different. When you talk about aerospace, it becomes focused. So that portion will be one. Then a lot of encouragement for industry-institution collaboration. I would like to share a little bit of my personal experience in this. I used to be a faculty member of an institution called BITS Pilani for almost 4 years. I'm not a teacher, but I was coordinating the work of practice school. And this is the only university in the country where the 1-year program is given for students. That out of 4 years of engineering course, you are spending 1 year working in the industry. So when you come out, you are really prepared. And they get paid, they also do a lot of work, and few other industries which were complementing the intellectual inputs coming from these people. But no less than TVS, which came out, we got a new design, we got something of the sort. So these people, though they did have some grievance about hand skills and drawing sketches and all that. But then with the computer tool being available, you don't need to have a drawing board. Basic things that can be done on the computer. That's one thing. And this is one of the good examples of industry collaboration. The other one is the collaboration of Wipro with NITK, where they are collaborating and they are put up an incubator for IT. So they give space, and that has been working fairly successful. Then there is something called sponsored research. And sponsored research, backed by some support in terms of tax concessions, could be one of the very good tools for promoting IP. Then sponsored documentation and validation. Anything, there's a good documentation. I think most of the patent holders agree, documentation holds the key. Natural. And very important is promotional programs for sensitizing people on IP issues. IP, brand, GI, infringements. And the policy should ideally inbuild the mechanism for protecting the patent from infringement. Now lawyers do play a role, but then when small people find it difficult to go and get high profile lawyers. So there if some funding is available even from the state, it will definitely go a long way. I think with this, I think the patent attorneys and practitioners have a significant role, and a directory which I mentioned would be definitely useful. It would be initiated region-wise, showcasing strengths of the patent. I would like to categorize, because we do categorize type of industries, like say small, medium, large, mega, or something like that. So maybe you could even have a categorization of patent attorneys, where we can say, here these are the people who can really give you a lot of help, and it will not be very expensive. It would be a cluster approach. Maybe even like we have a financial city, you could talk about having a patent complex, where it would house all the attorneys with office spaces, at least select bunch and other practitioners. I think I have touched upon some of the points. I hope you found it of some use, and I'll be glad to receive any feedback. And definitely some of you, including ITAG, you will definitely refer to them some inputs when the policy does take off. Thank you so much, and all the best. Have a great day.